Okay, we're working on this 2011 Chevy Cruze here, and we got a problem with the trunk release here. Basically, the switch here is not working, and it works some of the time, but mainly just not working now. Okay, so basically up under here is where the release is going to be, and you know, if this goes out, then your only other option is your fob here. And so if you don't have your fob, then you're going to have a lot of trouble getting this open. So here is the sensor pad that goes out. So I'm going to show you how we're going to replace this. Now you notice one of the license plate lights is out as well, but we're going to be taking care of that as well. Okay, so we got a few tools here. We got our new part. I want to show you. This was only $12, and it comes with the lights, has the bulbs. So we got new lights, lens. Here is the sensor pad, and the whole unit was $12. This just plugs in, and we fasten everything down. Now we are going to have to remove a few things to be able to get this out of here, but it's very nice to have this whole thing together. Now I have seen some where you can like crimp on just the sensor and replace it that way, but I like this, so you're just replacing everything here. So just to go through the tools that we're going to need here, not a lot. We need a 7mm Phillips screwdriver, needle nose. These are for moving the snap rivets, and a 10mm. Okay, so we're going to take this and get these little snaps popped up here. You can use a regular screwdriver, but this is just easier because it's made to do that. Okay, and you can see I've got these popped up here already, and you can see how many we've got around through here that we have to remove. All these around the perimeter, and we've got one right in there. So I'm going to go ahead and take all the rest of these out now. Okay, and we're just got to pop this off as well. Just should come off pretty easy. All right, now we're going to go ahead and, well, we got this right here we got to get now. All right, we got these 7mm we got to get here, and we got one more on this side for this handle. Okay, so there's those. So we should be able to go ahead, pop it out. Not missing one right here. So go ahead and set that down. Okay, the first thing we're going to do in here is get on this connector right here, and you're just going to give that a push down with your thumb. Just go ahead and disconnect that. Okay, now if you look up in here, you can see these 10mm, and they're kind of all along. I think we got about 5 of them or so. There's one there. There's one back there. You can just kind of look back here. There may be just 4. But we're going to get those out, and then you can see the yellow. That basically just holds it in place while you get the 10s on the studs there. But we need to pinch those with the needle nose once we get all of these, get all these 10mm off. Go ahead and start removing these. Now you'll need, already had that loose, but you're going to need your 10mm ratchet to loosen these up. And once you have it, go ahead and start spinning those off, and we'll go ahead and get to the other one back over here. And I think we've got one more right here. We'll go ahead and get that one out. Okay, you see this little yellow tab? We're just going to squeeze with our needle nose. We got to squeeze those tabs in a little bit and just kind of give it a push or lift on the unit from the outside. We're going to get the one on the other end. All right, same thing here. I'm going to squeeze on this one and then I'll just give it a push up. Okay, now you can see after we do that, this unit will pop up and free. Okay, we're going to carefully, it'd be better to have a plastic tool for this. We're going to carefully, we got this pulled up, we're going to carefully pop this out. Just be careful. And then see, that whole thing will come up and out of there. Okay, so now we can go ahead and take our Phillips. And we're going to completely remove the screws. Going to do the same thing on this other one. Okay, now that will, they got a clip right here. We need to slide these wires, or let's go ahead and unhook that and then take your light out and then pop it under here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and unscrew this end, take these screws completely out, and just unhook the light. Alright, so this is, so it's got these clips here. I'm going to have to either pop them under there, and that kind of broke, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. Let's see if I can get this one. It's really hard to get them under there. Okay, now this, both those little clips broke getting those wires up, by the way, but this here, you just push down on these little tabs that you see right here, and that will just pop right out, and then we'll just feed it right back and through. But you can see those little clips there, or the only thing, just push those in, it pops right out of there. So we'll just discard that and get our new one. Okay, first thing I'm going to feed through is this switch. We're going to get that locked into place there. Okay, I flipped that around. The wires are actually supposed to be here. Well, I had it backwards, so I went ahead and flipped that around. Just make sure that's secure. Okay, so we're gonna undo our light. If we can get it to unlock. These new ones are really tight. And we're gonna put this part in, and then we'll just lock that back into place. It's actually easier to pull it up here though to lock it. Well, these are really tight. It'll take me just a minute. Alright, so we're just going to get the screw in here. Find my other screw. I really like this kit because it comes with these, and this is going to be, they're going to be nice new lenses. They'll be nice and bright. Of course, we got new light bulbs. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to first take that and go ahead and feed it through and reconnect it. So because it's got these new O-rings, it's really hard to twist. Alright, so we'll just feed that just a minute. Okay, I had that around the wrong way. It's got to go that way to fit down in there. So I'm just going to get the 2 screws in here and we'll be done with this lens here as well. Okay, and there's our new lens and our switch. And okay, so we took and cleaned this up a little bit, so now we'll go ahead and get our assembly back up here.
Okay.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and feed this back through, and we'll want to make sure we push that back in there till it seals. And we're going to make sure that our wires are not getting crimped or in the way here. Okay, so I'll make sure those wires are out of the way, and very first thing we're going to get our little yellow tabs here and we're going to put them in where they go, and they're going to hold this into place. We just want to make sure that we don't have our wires in the way. Okay, so that wire should come out up here, and we're just going to reattach that. And before we put all this back together, we're going to go ahead and close it and test this out here. Okay, and before we get all this back together, we want to definitely test this out a couple times here. Okay, so just testing out the license plate lights, and they are both working, and the one on this side was out before. Okay, so we just got our 4 screws. We're gonna go back up in there and put those back in place on each of those, and you've seen how I took them off very easy, and we'll just snug them up. Doesn't have to be just terribly tight because this is a plastic housing. Alright, so like I said, these don't have to be real tight. Ideally use a little 1/4 inch ratchet, but see where my hand is, and I'm just barely snugging those up. It doesn't have to be real tight. Okay, so I'm just going to tighten up my other 3 I've got here now. Okay, with those tightened up, we're ready to go ahead and slip our cover back on here. And it's going to go over that. And it should just go right back in place, and we'll just start popping these pins in here. Okay, we've got all of our pins back in place. We'll go ahead and slip this piece back on, nothing to it. Okay, we've got our 7mm. Okay, we'll go ahead and test this out again. Alright, so that's going to do it on replacing this latch assembly on this 2011 Cruze. I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please leave a comment below if you wish. As always, I invite you to subscribe, and thanks for watching.